Where are we, Jacob?
I don't know what this room is.
This is so weird. I don't know. What are we doing?
You tell me.
I think this is the return of the Regular Size Man podcast.
I think
if it's
we're
coming
back.
back to me correctly. I don't know.
Yeah, I think we're back. I don't even know how long ago it was since I've been in this room actually.
Look, the thought that the last movie we saw in cinemas in 2020 was Fantasy Island. Really?
No, hold on. What do we see in cinemas?
Fantasy Island.
Fantasy Island.
Last thing we saw in cinemas was Fantasy Island, and
Still gets me every time. It still gets me. I need to watch the movie again just for that. I kid you not. I think we hated on that movie, but I would love to see it.
It was one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life. I just want to put it out there. But yes, no, that was the last movie I've ever seen, and we had to take a break due to the current situation of the world. However, we're not going to dwell on that. We are back in business, and we're going to be ready to go for the rest of 20. Gang, bitch, let's go.
We're back with a vengeance.
Let's just roll the intro music.
Let's go.
So welcome back to episode 39, the return of the Regular Size Man podcast. My name is Sam, and as always, we are joined by Jacob. How are we doing this week? What's new? What's happening?
This week? Honestly,
these last few months.
Man, I wish we could have. I don't know. I'm good. I'm as far as things get going. I'm pretty good, to be honest with you.
That's good, my friend.
I haven't seen you in so long.
Yes.
I haven't seen you in 3 hours.
It's been like 3. We've started hanging out again. Me and Jacob have probably seen each other in the past week too many times.
A few times more than before.
Yeah, we saw each other more than before the podcast. Quarantine.
I only saw you just for the podcast, and then I wouldn't talk to you for a week.
Yeah, and now we're going out for breakfast. And we're going out for dinner. We're seeing each other. You know, you've bought your tattoo gun, and
we're doing tattoos now. That's what this break has forced me to do. Instead of uploading responsible podcasts about my thoughts and opinions on movies that no one cares about, I'm now doing tattoos for people that make or break a lot of things.
Yeah, it's alright. Ruin someone's life with a tattoo. That's fine.
Very much so.
That's alright. Anyway, we thought for the first episode we're just going to kind of slowly ease back into it. Just kind of talk about some prominent things that have been happening, and really just kind of slowly get back into it. Let you guys know that we're back with just a filler episode. And so I figured we'd start talking about cinemas and just the reopening of cinemas, because we saw online that AMC Theatres, which is America's big theatre company,
it's equivalent to our
Village Cinemas.
Probably
or
Village.
Hoyts. It's Village and Hoyts combined essentially.
Yeah, probably.
They lost $4.2 billion.
Is that all?
That's all in their first quarter. So, and they basically said if they can't open by June or something, or by the end of the halfway through the year, they have to close down because they're gonna have no money, which will be pretty shit.
Good news though, Disney bought them out.
Oh, did they?
Like Disney do with everything.
Yeah,
that was a joke.
Disney
Disney buy everything, so there's a good chance.
Oh, they didn't buy them.
No, they didn't buy.
Oh, you fucking.
I was making a joke.
Oh, come on, man.
No, Disney. Let's be honest. Disney buy everything, and it's gonna be 2 minutes, mate. You watch. They'll buy them and then play only Disney. It'll be Disney Plus in the theater.
Look, probably. They're just gonna sing "Let It Go."
I just want to sing "Let It Go" in a crowd of people that isn't in my own home. I don't know, but. Maybe that's just me.
It's mandatory slides in every cinema.
Oh yeah.
I'd be down for that.
I'd be kind of down for that.
Yeah.
I always want to go. We saw what's it called? Knives Out
with the kiddie slide.
That was closed. That so sucked.
Anyway, but yes, no. So basically, I don't know who, what authority, Hollywood have come out.
Let's go with Hollywood.
Hollywood have just basically said that they're going to release Christopher Nolan's new movie called Tenet, which is coming out end of July, and what they're going to do is use that as a kind of.
It's going to be like the measure, I think.
The measurement, yeah. For whether any movies are going to come out for the rest of this year. Because when the movie does come out end of July, they're expecting about 90% of theatres to resume operation. And so by that point, they're going to gauge whether, a brand new movie is going to get the box office reception that it would get pre-COVID.
Yeah.
So
yeah, which is a pretty good indication, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I think for Australia ourselves, we're on our way out now.
Yeah.
We are on the way out.
Touch wood, we don't have a massive second wave.
Touch a lot of wood. Touch a lot of wood.
Yeah, no, it's...
Our neighbours over yonder, New Zealand.
They're done well.
They're pretty much. I don't want to say they're all good.
They have
no one's all good, but they've got no active cases, and we're closing in on that. We're doing quite well here. So for us, it could be a situation where Tenet does much better internationally.
Yes.
than it does domestically. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. Like it'll still make its money in America.
Yeah.
But it might do a lot better. There might be a bigger disparity internationally than it usually is.
Yeah, we'll see what happens, but it's really interesting. I'm really excited for Tenet anyway, so I'm gonna see it. I will hazmat suit up if I have to, but I will be watching. So that's really, really cool. But during this time, we've also had a lot of streaming service stuff. We've had a lot of releases. Some certain movies and shows have gone directly to just streaming services.
Name a few.
Onward came out. Onward came out very quickly.
Good one. Trolls World Tour was in theaters for a little bit, and then I believe it went straight to digital to buy. Birds of Prey went to digital very quickly. Watched that again last week. Still holds up.
Yes.
Guns Akimbo went straight to digital.
You said that was pretty average.
Not a good movie.
No. Bloodshot, Vin Diesel's movie.
Funnily that was enough, theaters.
Yeah, funnily enough, it went to theaters and still made no money.
You watch they'll make a sequel just on the back of Vin Diesel. What a man. What else? I don't really know what else.
You put me on the spot here, and I didn't have any answers to back it up. But
it was hard to do it because Disney obviously have money, so they can afford to put it on. Also, Onward, good movie.
Onward, I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard it with good things.
Let's watch it and we'll do a review.
Okay, if you insist.
That'll be how we kick back everything. Right?
So I've been doing that, but I'm excited for the movies to open back up, to be honest with you. I miss going to the movies with you, grabbing that medium popcorn and a choc top and just sitting there and just kicking back. So.
I do miss wasting my money on a cup. It looks really cool.
I got two right there. I don't know if you can see it. You can see it behind Jacob's microphone if you're watching on YouTube. But yes, we got the Star Wars cup there.
I have identical to those three, except I don't have Kylo Ren. I've got the red.
Birds of Prey one down there. Yeah.
I've got a red trooper. Yeah. But other than that, identical.
That's cute.
Well, you know how we'd be doing out here.
Yeah, we nerding out here. Nerd cups. Anyway, moving on. Some big news came out. The Snyder Cut. Yeah, this is a bit of old news. We know we're kind of recapping what's happened.
Brand new. What do you mean, brand new?
Last night.
Everything is brand new. Everything is brand new.
Any news that have come out in the last 3 months have actually happened yesterday.
It's brand new.
And this is the first one, which is the Snyder Cut. So it is happening. Mm-hmm. After months, we've talked about it on this podcast multiple times before, as has every pop culture podcast. And so basically, the long and short of it is, it's coming to HBO Max next year. There's been a lot of deliberation about what's going to happen, or what is going to, how it's going to come out, whether it's going to be one part, multiple parts, episodes, yada, yada, yada. But either way, the long and short of it is that it's happening. Big W for the kingdom, the nerddom, the fandom, I don't know what you want to fucking call it, but big W for all.
Episode 30.
Episode
Snyder
30?
Cut. 5 hours long was the rumour back then. And now look where we are now. We're in episode 39. Not 9 weeks, but a lot longer than 9 weeks.
No, 9 weeks. We didn't miss a week.
We didn't miss a week. We've consistently uploaded.
We're going to pretend like nothing happened and we're just going to go on from there.
Yeah, just pretend like we did the Fantasy Island review yesterday. And we're back again.
But yeah, so what do you make of this? Are you happy about the Snyder Cut? Because I know you've been mixed about it, and it kind of hit a point where we were like, who cares? And it's been so long. Mm-hmm. But now that's happening. So
I make a lot of things out of this, Sam.
Mm-hmm. Go on.
First and foremost, good idea putting it on streaming service.
Yeah,
I think a very good idea. I think it was reported it's going to be about 20 to 30 million to finish it, which I think, but then I think that got taken out, and they said it's going to be more than that.
Yeah,
because fair enough.
Yeah.
How much do you think they're going to do any sort of reshoots, or do you think it's just going to be putting the CGI in and then redubbing?
Well, I heard that they might be reshooting Henry Cavill's Superman parts without the mustache.
That'd be nice.
That'd be. Hey mate, the mustache.
But to be fair, the mustache was with Joss Whedon, so that wouldn't be in it anyway. Even like the CGI'd off version of that. Jesus Christ, that's hard to look at.
Anyway,
we should watch Justice League.
We should. Again. I have BVS right there. We can watch BVS.
I really want to watch BVS.
I have it on Blu-ray right behind you. So we can watch that and then we can watch Justice League. Make it a night.
We probably should, to be honest.
Done deal.
But yeah, what do you think? Do you think they're going to do it? Or?
I don't think they'll do much. I think they'll probably keep most of it the way it is because,
I don't know what the way it is though. What is it?
Well, nothing that was in Justice League.
What is it? Like
nothing in Justice League.
Yeah. I don't even know where to...
Yeah, I mean, we obviously got confirmed Darkseid. Darkseid, sorry.
Correct.
Like that's been confirmed. Zack Snyder did release a screenshot of that.
Yeah.
So I feel like most of that they'll keep the same. Like I feel like Zack Snyder's not going to do too much to it. I feel like most of his stuff was done, but it was just changed. Like,
see, I disagree.
Okay,
I disagree completely. I disagree mostly because I think there's a lot of evidence to point towards the fact that Zack Snyder had a lot of stuff that isn't in there. First and foremost, it's 4 to 5 hours long. The version that he's got. Obviously, that'll be cut down. It'll probably be, I think it'll be about a 3-hour film, and what they're going to do is they're going to break it up into episodes on HBO Max so that people keep paying.
Yep.
So it'll be 30-minute episodes weekly. No, it'll be like a movie, but it'll stop. So there's that. I think that the fact that there's Martian Manhunter in the movie and Green Lantern, but they both like Martian Manhunter. You don't even get. He's not even in Justice League at all.
He's not.
So I think there's a lot of stuff from Snyder's cut that we're going to be like, holy shit, I didn't even know that was there.
Yeah.
And my final thing is I think that it's going to be very closely tied to Flashpoint, because in BVS, as you know, there's the dream sequence that Bruce has, and then the end of the dream sequence is Flash running through time saying, it's Lois. So I do think that I think that is something, and I think that's Flash coming from the future to warn about Justice League, to come back and warn. So I think there's going to be some sort of a Flashpoint version of what's going on.
Interesting. We'll have to see. I mean, obviously it's a year away. It's coming out May 2021.
Such a long time.
It's such a long time. But in the we have plenty of time to watch BVS again.
How do we get it?
I think it comes through Foxtel in Australia.
Do you think we'll get it? But do you think that'll go through Foxtel?
Well,
because I mean, it wouldn't be picked up anywhere else.
Well, I would assume so, because everything. That's right. Everything on HBO Max is coming to Foxtel if you are Australian. So, and everything to date, like all the DC shows are on there. I actually had my cousin Lucas. He actually watched Doom Patrol. We were talking about that when we were talking about Titans last year. He said it was actually a lot better than Titans. It shits on Titans.
I've heard that. Yeah.
Yeah. So we got to watch Doom Patrol, but that's just a quick side note. But I think it will come out on Foxtel. If not, we'll just VPN and buy HBO Max.
I do think I want to, because I think they got Swamp Thing on there as well, and I've heard that's really good.
Okay. Interesting.
They just run out of money for that show. Apparently it was a lot of money to make them, and it's not like...
I could imagine.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. We've got time to worry about new news to come out, but positive news that has come out of this, Henry Cavill is potentially in heavy talks, or, it is rumoured, I'm not going to say this lightly, that he's going to return as Superman.
I think it's a shoo-in to happen. I think it'll happen.
Surely.
Well, I think if the rumour of the talks came out, I think it's pretty destined to happen.
Apparently it is complicated. Like, there hasn't been talks, but there's interest from both parties. So, who knows?
Yeah. There were heaps of rumours a while ago about J.J. Abrams doing a Superman movie.
I've heard about this. He ruined Star Wars. No, I'm kidding.
He didn't. No, he didn't.
No, he didn't. He definitely didn't.
I don't blame him for the last episode. No. But and that could be really interesting. I think JJ would have I do think he could do a good job with us.
Yeah, same. I love JJ Abrams. Like, he's done some very good work.
Yeah. So I would definitely like to see it. I want a Man of Steel 2 more than I want anything else, I think, from Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
Like, I genuinely couldn't care less if he doesn't do a Justice League 2 or he doesn't do feature in other DC movies. I would just prefer a Man of Steel 2 more than anything else.
Because you made that point to me earlier about how at the end of Shazam, if you haven't seen the movie, Superman comes out and you don't see the top of his head because of scheduling issues with Henry Cavill, which is why he was not in it.
Research.
We did this before the podcast. But it also, you were saying how, to compare it to Marvel, how Superman was going to be in a Nick Fury type of role. He was going to be like the overseer for every other character in the DC universe.
Just popping up.
Yeah, just popping up here and there. However, you did have some concerns about. I agree with your concerns, but go on about your concerns. No, talk about your concerns.
I don't know. I just think that with Superman you can't really do him as a Nick Fury, because the thing about Nick Fury is he doesn't have powers. Like, he's just a dude with a gun. Like,
eye patch.
And an eye patch. Like, really cool looking eye patch.
Yeah.
Sexiest part going around. But you can't really, like, Superman. How do you think of a good excuse for him to pop up in each movie and not help out?
Exactly.
And you don't, and even if you don't make an excuse for him not helping out, you don't want to see Superman helping out in every single movie. Like,
exactly.
I don't want to see him in Aquaman 2 helping Aquaman.
That's what Justice League's for.
Exactly, I just don't. And so I think that Superman and Henry Cavill, I think, are much better in bigger roles in movies like Justice League or like something of a scale of Civil War, like Captain America Civil War or something like that. And then his own solo movies. I think it's just a waste doing that. And I don't think it works. So.
No, I'm gonna have to agree. I mean, I do. Everybody knows that I have a soft spot for Henry Cavill as Superman. He's one of my favorite Supermans. We have the same birthday where we're like this. We're just like me and him are bonding.
2 peas in a pod.
2 peas in a pod. But I love, as I was saying to you earlier, I do love how he just dedicates himself to the role. He's a big nerd, and he loves Superman as a character, and you can see that, and you can see the enthusiasm. And so, I just think he suits the role very well.
Yeah, I think so too.
And so, just, I think that he didn't have a perfect opportunity to really explore his Superman. We know that Zack Snyder had a 5-movie plan for Henry Cavill Superman. Going from Man of Steel to BVS to Justice League, for him to go to Black Superman, and then
Justice League 2 as well, because number 1 was supposed to be a cliffhanger, and then 2. happens.
And then he's going to return to, happy blue Superman, I don't know what you call it, but have his, vengeance story through. And, it would have been awesome to see, but we didn't get to see it, unfortunately, and it feels like he didn't have, pardon the pun, justice as Superman.
I think you can't. I think there's not a lot of work to judge Henry Cavill on as Superman. I think you can judge him on Man of Steel and Batman v Superman. I think that those are fair movies to judge him on. But after that, and any other thing he's appeared in, which I think is actually only Justice League, so fucking ignore me saying that. But,
it's only one movie.
It's only one other movie, but it's the most recent one, and it's the worst one. So I'd probably be like, it's just.
Yeah, but even in Justice League, he wasn't bad. It's just the whole movie's bad. So, he was good with what he's got. I think, with most of the heroes.
Can I be honest? I don't think he's good in what he's got. But that's not his fault. I think it's just rushed. I don't think it's... In anything that he's in, I don't think he's good in the movie. But that's not... Really? But I don't think that's his fault. I do think it's story, and I think it's script and the way they did it. I don't think it's... I don't think it's him at all. But
that's fair. That's fair. Yeah. But it's interesting to see it. We hope we see it. But, also, the Snyder Cut has given some motivation for other directors to come and speak out about their movies having influence. Now, obviously, Zack Snyder's Snyder Cut was a very big thing because, he had a very personal thing happen to him with the loss of his daughter. Yep. But a lot of other directors are coming out and saying,
like who, Samuel?
David Ayer.
Yes, and who would that be?
The director of Suicide Squad. Now, we all know Suicide Squad as the abomination just above Justice League.
Not very
far above.
It's
you think it's worse than Justice League?
No, it is better. It's not just above. It's much better than Justice League, which isn't saying much.
It's above Justice League, but it's still a piece of shit.
Oh, yeah.
And, David Ayer, who directed that, says that his cut of the movie or his story and idea was completely taken, thrown into a ball and chucked out the window, and the movie was changed. And he came out and said that he had a vision of a movie, and then after BVS and Deadpool, which was more comedy based, that they took his movie, which is Suicide Squad, which is usually a dark, I think DC are very darker tone, and they tried to make it a comedy because that worked with Deadpool and BVS for some reason, even though BVS wasn't really funny, but that's what they did, and it produced what Suicide Squad was. And on paper, Suicide Squad did amazing at the box office. It made a lot of money. Yeah, it made a lot of money.
I don't disagree with you. I'm actually just curious, to be honest.
You can look it up whilst you... But I'm saying, on the paper, so DC look at it and they're like, yeah, fuck yeah, we did well. We have Suicide Squad. It did so well. But at the same time,
Oh, shit, yeah.
It made $750 million almost.
But the budget... Wow, the budget was $175.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they made about $400 million on the movie. So in DC's eyes, that's a happy day for them.
Pretty good.
But fans, were not happy with it because, characters were over-sexualized. They tried to make them too goofy, and it just, overall, the story was just very lackluster. And so, anyway, long and short of it, David Ayer's come out and said, I would love my cut to be released, and, he's gained a lot of, garnered a lot of support from that because, obviously, his version is a lot different to what came out.
Very much so, very much so. It's really odd though, because honestly, a couple months ago he said he didn't care. He didn't give a shit about it, which is so. It was odd for me to see him like completely take a whole a dive left. Really,
was this before Zack?
It was before Zack Snyder.
See, maybe the Snyder Cut inspired him, or
Yeah. I do think that, to be honest, I do think that there's a very good chance now that we get David Ayer's version.
Because, just to add to this as well, the director, I forgot whose name, I'm so sorry, but the director of the 2016 Ghostbusters, also known as one of the worst movies of the last generation, or last 10 years, he came out and he said that his movie, which is a 3.5-hour cut, had a completely different story and direction, but Sony Pictures stepped in and changed it, leading to it being one of the most poorly rated movies of all time.
It really makes you think about all this, doesn't it?
Yeah, because it's really interesting that all these directors are coming out and saying, hey, they changed our movie and it makes us look like we're bad directors when we had no control over what happened.
Yeah, and there's the whole thing with Josh Trank and his Fantastic Four movie. There's a whole lot of change in that movie. He actually doesn't care. He has said that he doesn't.
Sort of David Ayer,
he's done with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But even so, that movie's changed as well. Like, it does make you. It really, really does make you think about it all, because, like, there's the whole thing about people not liking the Joker, and me personally, I don't hate the Joker in Suicide Squad.
Okay. Yeah.
I kind of like it. It's different. I like the direction it was going. I thought it was a little bit weird, but I didn't hate it. We both agree that we do think it was a little bit sexualized, too sexualized.
Yeah. And I think, as well as we were saying, as you were saying, it was out of place from because the movie was cut down. It was very out of place, and they kind of just did it to attach Harley Quinn to something, it was like forced is the way it seemed, rather than the Joker playing a prominent role in the movie.
Yeah, because we've talked about this. Like, I personally, we're going to talk about the DC animated movies very briefly before, but I'm going to kind of shoehorn it into this now. There's a couple Suicide Squad animated movies, and they're very, very good. And the first one, spoiler alert, is. It's just a basic heist, and no superpowers, no superpowers in terms of the villain, nothing crazy, and that makes sense. That's what you would probably call Suicide Squad in for. Some people that you need to go retrieve something, if they die, they die, but it's realistic for them to do it. And in that movie, pretty sure the Joker's not in that movie. Maybe in the tiniest little bit. But this one, it doesn't, as we said, it seems like they just kind of had the Joker come in to be like, we're introducing Harley Quinn into the movie for the first time in live action. There are a lot of people who don't know who she is. The best way to do that is to attach her to the Joker. And it just didn't seem like it made a lot of sense for the Joker to be in the movie. But then again, there's about 30 to 45 minutes of cut Jared Leto footage, which I do want to see, because I
would like to see it, to be honest.
Jared Leto's always said that he's really annoyed about how much was cut, and because he thinks he copped a lot of flack for his performance.
He did cop it.
And if that's what changes it, then that's what changes it. I don't know how you put that into the movie, but I think that it would probably do him justice. At least to the point where you're kind of like, this is not bad.
Like, I don't hate your character anymore. Yeah,
like
that's fair
you
enough.
See where his interpretation was going and coming from.
All right, so transitioning to DC movies, what do you want to say? Because I know you've been talking a lot about them lately.
I can't get enough of DC animated movies. I think, I could be wrong with this, I think they're done now, though. I think they're finished. I think with this the last one they just released was Justice League Dark Apocalypse War. And I'm pretty sure it's the end of it. It kind of seemed like the end, but it also kind of seemed like they could keep going. Just insane movie, man. I'm not going to get into it specifically, but the whole DC animated slate is just good, man. Like, I recommend it to anyone, because they don't have any limits. Where'd I watch it? Nowhere.
Okay.
Yeah, nowhere, guys.
HBO Max.
HBO Max I watched it on because I own a VPN. Yes, and I watched it legally. I rented it in a PlayStation store, in fact. That's what I did, yeah. It was $8 to rent, and I watched it in a day. So keep that in mind when you guys are watching stuff legally.
Have you ever actually rented a movie in the last, 5 years?
I just did, yeah. I told you.
Besides that?
Yeah. Guns Akimbo and Harley Quinn on PlayStation Store.
See, I can't do it.
I actually did it. It was like $7.
$7 is not bad, but just to watch a movie, it's like it's like going to the movies. I could say it's like buying a ticket to watch a movie.
While we don't have cinemas, I'm okay with that. I'll probably go do it tonight if we get home. If I get home, if I get home not too late, then I might do it tonight.
Fair enough. That makes sense. I mean, I usually just end up buying the Blu-ray of the movies that I watch.
Yeah, you do.
And just watch them instead. I don't know why.
Yeah,
but
I don't know. I don't really have a lot of...
I don't think I'd buy a movie and then own it on like a streaming set. Like on YouTube, I would never buy a movie in full.
I don't like... That's why I would rent it. I wouldn't like to buy it because I wouldn't like them having just... I wouldn't like having just a digital file of all my movies. Yeah. I probably would like them in a hard copy kind of way. But
anyway, moving on to finish DC. Batwoman. So we have been very critical of this show.
The show that we cannot get enough of because it is probably one of the best things we have ever laid our eyes upon. Better than Fantasy Island, and I know what you're thinking.
It has that possible. You're in a fantasy world
where all your dreams come true, but at a price, and you will find that out once you start embarking on your journey. No matter how good it seems.
Wow, that's actually better advertising than the entire movie itself. Anyway, so Ruby Rose, who was Batwoman, left the show. So, the whole show, this is why it's ironic, the whole show kind of revolves around how Bruce Wayne abandoned Gotham City. And, Ruby Rose's character, what's her name?
Kate Kane.
Kate Kane.
Best name as well. Awesome
Kate
name.
Is that the comics name?
I don't know. Maybe.
You can look it up. But anyway, I think
I watched the movie with it.
Anyway, so Kate Kane comes in and she's the Batwoman, and she is meant to fill the role of the crime crusader of Gotham. And they in the show they make a lot of references to how
Kate Kane
in the comics.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So in the show they make a lot of reference to how it's better when it's a woman's job, and they do all this stuff. They really push that kind of idea. And then Ruby Rose left. So it's bit hypocritical from Ruby Rose to
just a tad.
Shit talk Batman and then leave the show. But there was a lot of problems on the show. I read on Reddit that Ruby Rose was almost left paralyzed from some of the filming, and a stunt woman actually did become paralyzed from some of the stunts they were doing. They'd walk through Wasteland to film scenes, and they'd find syringes on the ground, and they do all this other stuff, and it was very dangerous. The conditions were very horrible, and as you were saying as well, they were filming in Vancouver, which was very cold, long days, and so Ruby Rose was like, you know what, this is pretty bad, the show's not doing that well, I'm gonna dip out whilst I can.
I think the show's doing okay.
Okay, well the show's doing alright.
I don't think it's doing terrible, put it that way. I think it's doing okay.
Okay. But either way, she ended up leaving, so
but we both discussed this. It seemed odd that Ruby Rose signed on to do this anyway, because as we just said, it's long hours, you don't have time to do anything else. And if you did, not to do anything serious and not a major role in anything. So it seems really odd that Ruby Rose would take this because, for the most part, her career was kind of trending upwards in America because she's Aussie.
Yeah.
Proud Aussie.
Yeah.
But it just seemed odd that she would take a TV gig. And something with such long hours, not even, and especially a comic book thing. Because traditionally, the comic book shows and all those kind of things, they take a lot of dedication to do. Because most people go to Comic-Con.
Yeah, exactly.
And try and do the rounds and all that jazz. But I don't know.
But even then, when you're a prominent role in a TV show, I'll use Ed Helms as an example. Yes. When he was in The Office, so he was Andy from The Office, he was also in The Hangover. Yes. When he went to film The Hangover, due to conflict of scheduling, he ended up missing half a season because he was filming The Hangover, and he was only away for a couple months.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And especially, and he's obviously he's
he was the manager at the
character.
Time. He was the manager of The Office at the time of him leaving. So
I'm saying he was a prominent character, but when you're Batwoman, you're the main character. There's no other main character besides you're the character.
The show is called Batwoman.
Yeah, exactly. With The Office, you can kind of work around it and do, and they did.
Not greatly, but they did.
Yeah, but Batwoman. It's about you.
No.
So, it was an interesting move that she did it, and obviously she maybe just wanted to dabble in it, and it didn't work out. So,
Stephanie Beatriz who plays Rosa on Brooklyn Nine-Nine put her hand up straight away. Actually,
really?
Yeah, she wanted to
I'd
do
like
it
to
straight
see
away.
that.
I think she's got the look.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I told you. I think I've heard stuff that it's not going to be Batwoman or Kate Kane. It's going to be someone new. Like it's a new character.
They're gonna name the show differently, or what they're gonna do?
That's what I wouldn't. That's what I don't know. Whether that person comes in and takes a different mantle and then goes to Batwoman. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I don't know how they do it. I doubt it would be Batgirl because I think Batgirl you'd have to cast a lot younger. And I don't think they want that because they've got Stargirl running at the moment, and she's quite young.
Yeah, apparently they're doing pretty well too.
Yeah. But so I really don't know how you do it, to be honest. I don't know what direction they would go in. They're kind of screwed, to be honest.
Yeah.
It'll. I could very easily see them casting someone who isn't that massive and just scrapping it after season 2 if it doesn't do well.
Yeah,
not going to lose anything.
Look, it was already at a disadvantage from when it started due to the way it was received initially from the trailer.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, it already had a disadvantage. And then, to lose your main character after one season, it doesn't look like there's a lot of longevity for this show. So, we'll see what happens. But, we've talked about the show before, which is why I wanted to cover it. But, yeah, anyway, moving on. Yeah. Another controversial thing that came up recently was Scarface. Now, this is a very iconic movie from either the 70s or 80s, I don't remember. I think it's 83.
Scarface.
83 is my guess.
Let me fact check.
My guess is 83.
Let me fact check that one. I do think... you're spot on.
Thank you. I'm good. Anyway, I love that movie.
It's also a 1932 film.
Well, I was going to get you spoiled what I was about to say. So Scarface... was also... So, let me finish.
Yeah, please do. But also, basically... just quickly, really cool poster for that 1932 one.
Yeah, it actually looks really cool.
Nice.
So anyway, Scarface, 1983 movie, iconic, regarded as one of the greatest movies of all time, yeah?
Yep.
And they are considering rebooting it with Michael B. Jordan at the head, like as Tony Montana.
I've heard a lot of stuff. I've heard a female lead. Mm-hmm. I've obviously heard the Michael B. Jordan one, and you're gonna have to take the reins in. I know I've interrupted you, but you're gonna have to take the reins in this one because I haven't seen the movie. But correct me if I'm wrong. Is it not based on an Italian mob?
The 1932 one is based on an Italian mob, and 1983 is based on a South American. It's a South American drug lords.
So like
they could redo it and do like a different part, like maybe like the Russians and the cocaine or something, or like Russians and
how you do Russian with Michael B. Jordan. No offense, but I don't think he can pull off Russian.
No, but my point is they have the potential, like if they don't go with Michael B. Jordan, obviously, to do something different, because that's what they did. I mean, the 1932 one and the 1983 are very different. Don't get me wrong, and there's a lot of years between them. But I think that Scarface still has a big cultural impact today, and it's not like it's a forgotten movie. So I don't like the idea of rebooting it. If they want to do an inspiration, change the name a bit, but have that kind of inspiration.
I was gonna say, but if you do what you just said and kind of change it up, so it's not the South American kind of jazz. It's not really Scarface. It's just a movie about drug kingpins with a Scarface vibe.
Exactly.
It's not really Scarface. So, but yeah. So I mean, that could kind of because, in a sense, that's what Creed did. In a sense, they piggybacked off the Rocky name. Obviously, it's a bit different because it's in the same universe, and it's obviously tied through, and it's a story. But they kind of piggybacked in their own ways. It'd be like what No, it wouldn't. Ignore me. But yeah,
Creed was a good example.
I think Creed's...
If they did something like that, I'd be fine with that.
Yeah, maybe like scar leg, scarred body.
No.
Taser face.
Yes. Perfect.
Insert Rocket Raccoon just laughing his head off. But you know what I mean? Like, it's not really a Scarface movie anymore, is it?
Yeah, see, this is the thing. It doesn't need to see... Like, the story... I mean, I know you haven't seen it. We should watch it. It's one.
Oh. I'm definitely thinking of the...
You think Godfather?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you think Godfather.
I thought they were all connected. And I'm wrong, clearly, judging from your reaction. They're all on Stan as well.
We can't say you're a movie guy when you say that.
We had 3 months off, and I didn't watch a single one, and they're all on Stan, readily available to me. What did I do? I watched Seinfeld and The Office, and I reran every single sitcom I've ever watched.
And the DC
animated movies.
But yeah, watch Scarface, please, because it's a great movie. You don't want to watch it?
I don't know. Maybe.
It's really good.
Maybe.
It's one of my favorite movies. Okay. Anyway, I don't like the idea. I mean, like if they do a Creed type of thing with the Rocky,
like where they continuation in the universe and there's inspiration drawn from it, and it's the same ideas, but it's a different name.
And the name like Tony Montana's dropped, but he's not in it, or it's just like
it's a Michael B. Jordan led one.
Yeah, like Michael B. Jordan's inspired by Tony Montana.
You probably shouldn't cast Michael B. Jordan, because then he'll just be typecasted as someone to revitalize a franchise.
Yeah, because he did that with Creed. I think he's already done that whole revive of a franchise. And this is a problem where other actors fall into, is you don't want to be too many. You don't want to do too many franchises.
No, and again, sorry, just to piggyback on that quickly, I don't think he'll want to sign on to that.
Yeah,
because I think he's doing Creed 3, is he not?
I don't know.
Maybe I might be wrong.
But
he's supposed to be in Black Panther 2 as well, because everybody loves him so much, and I think he'll make somewhat of an appearance.
Yeah.
But I doubt he'll want to do that, yeah.
Because, I hate to go back to Henry Cavill, because he's the easiest example I can think of. But I'm saying, like, he's done Superman, he's done Mission Impossible, he's going to be in Sherlock Holmes, he was going to be James Bond, he was being eyed to be the next James Bond. If he joins, if he did, it's too many franchises, and you don't want to be an actor, that's one of his main criticisms as an actor. He also did The Witcher, sorry, but that's one of his main critiques as an actor, is he does too many franchises. And you don't want to be an actor that just goes from franchise to franchise. You want to, like Jake Gyllenhaal's on the opposite end of the spectrum. He only's done one franchise. He does one-offs, like he did Mysterio for Far From Home, but he only just does indie movies and just one-time movies, and he kills them.
Yeah.
And I don't know if being a reboot franchise actor would, go down well. I don't know.
I don't know. I think that obviously Michael B. Jordan's made a name for himself now. Like
no doubt.
Yeah, there's no argument that he's a heavy hitter now. He's a good actor.
He's done amazing.
Yeah, everyone knows that. But yeah, I don't think you're wrong there. I think if they do a Scarface reboot, they're probably going to want to do, at the very least, spin-offs. Surely, I'd be very shocked if they didn't do more with just the one, because in that case, why bring it? Why?
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to see it.
Why not just do a continuation from it then?
Yeah.
So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what they do with it.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, moving on. Well, I think we've already kind of covered this question.
We have.
Should we just skip it?
Unless you want to notably mention something.
I haven't, it's been what we've been watching in quarantine. I haven't really been watching much. I'm watching Avatar: The Last Airbender.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
You've been watching Friends, Seinfeld, The Office.
I finished Seinfeld, and I think we've done this before, but it's now probably my favorite show.
Really?
It's pretty close. The only reason, I don't know, man. I've watched The Office legitimately 12 times over. So now it's kind of getting, it's good. I still laugh. Don't get me wrong. It's not. I'm not saying it's bad, but now I'm kind. But I think because I've watched Seinfeld and it's fresh.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like, it's pretty good.
That's me with How I Met Your Mother. I watch it and it's not the same as it used to be.
Yeah. The Office hasn't got that for me yet. Okay. It's more just the fact that Seinfeld is so fresh. For me, at least.
I mean, Seinfeld is regarded as the greatest sitcom of all time.
It's very good.
It's very good, and I'm up to season 4 out of 9, so I've seen some of it. I've seen a good chunk of it to know that it's a very, very good show. Yeah. But yeah, I gotta finish it still.
I do want to mention a few things actually I watched on Netflix. Just quickly. So I did watch Middleditch and Schwartz, which I told you to watch. I told everyone to watch.
You've told me to watch it.
It's an improv. It's 3 episodes. It's an improv. It's a 50-minute long, three 50-minute long episodes of Ben Schwartz and Thomas Middleditch, who you probably, Thomas Middleditch is in Zombieland 2, and he plays Albuquerque. He plays the other one. And then Ben Schwartz is Sonic. Just funny, man. They're very funny. They're very, very funny people. I definitely recommend watching that. Very smart, very funny. Rick and Morty. Finished Rick and Morty.
Nice.
Incredible.
The
only thing that I'll say is I got really annoyed the last episode because it was the whole season wasn't really like a story season. It was just individual episodes that were funny. And then the last episode, they were like, hey, let's go back to the whole story that we've been promising for 3 years. And now it's done. So so I'm not happy with that at all. It just felt empty and felt it was a good episode, but it just kind of felt like that really sucks that you did that at the end.
Yeah, fair. I've been watching. I watched Outer Banks. I binged that entire show. That was actually one of the better Netflix originals I've seen.
You tell me you haven't watched stuff, mate. You've watched quite a bit.
I've just thought about it now.
Quite a bit.
I just thought about it now.
I don't think you realize how long we've had off. I finished Seinfeld a long time ago.
Yeah, no, I'm just thinking about this now. I watched Outer Banks, made a video on that on my channel. I also, and that was like, Outer Banks, very, very good.
Yeah, go watch his review. Actually, it's quite good.
Thank you. It's one of my favorite Netflix originals. It's, it's aimed at a more of a teenagey audience, and but
hits us right in the feels as we're leaving teenage.
Yeah, exactly. Fucking crying about how I'm getting old. Anyway, cries and lower back pain. But it's honestly, there's a lot of twists and a lot of moving parts in the story. It actually just makes it a very decent story. It's what Riverdale could have been.
Yeah,
but it's
not. Have you watched Riverdale at all?
No, but I just know it's shit.
Oh, I know that too.
Yeah, and I also watched this other show called White Lines, which the only reason I watched it was because I thought it was going to be like Outer Banks in a way, like because I make a lot of pop culture related videos, I thought that it was going to blow up like Outer Banks, and it flopped.
Didn't they come out quite?
White Lines came out in May 15th, I'm pretty sure it was, and Outer Banks was in March or April, so they came out pretty close.
Oh well, you nailed that. 15th of May.
Yeah. But Outer Banks was really good, but White Lines, that show was just very average. So the show's about how
15th April. Yep.
No, there you go, 1 month. The show White Lines is about Ibiza and the way that the drugs and party thing is in there, but the story itself is just pretty average. And it's about this girl who goes from her house in England to Ibiza to find out who kills her brother 20 years earlier, but the way that it plays out and just a lot of the story and the way that when you find out who kills the brother, it's just kind of it's just terrible. I made a video about it on my channel if you do want to go check it out if you care.
Another good video.
Thank you.
Didn't watch that one personally. I'm
sorry. It's fine.
I did watch Outer Banks though.
Thank you. But it was written by the guy that did Money Heist, and Money Heist is a very popular show.
Is that the one that's in Spanish or something?
Yeah, it's in Spanish. It's the number one
number one on iHeartRadio. So that's what just hits my head immediately.
Yeah, it's the number one non-English show at the moment in the world, and I've heard very good things, and I'm gonna watch it eventually. But it had good things going for it. But it just was pretty disappointing.
Yeah, fair enough.
But yeah, anyway, moving on. 2021?
It's been however long. Sam still hasn't got a news transition. It's just moving on. It's just we finish the sentence. I know. Look, it's funny. I just notice every single time. It's all right. And moving on, guys. And that's what it is. It's not. We don't have another transition. Please give us a transition.
Give us a transition.
We need something else.
Right.
I can't
all
sit
aboard,
here.
All aboard. We're going to the next station, which is 2021.
Can we do that?
All aboard the train.
Yeah. So what we'll do is we'll alternate, and I'll be like, all right, all aboard, all aboard for the next subject, or all aboard for the next. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. That's
ring the bell. Class is dismissed.
That's my thing from now.
Now going to 2021 sequels.
That's my thing from now on. Every post I make on the podcast is gonna be all aboard, everybody. That's the new slogan.
All aboard.
Not what up, regular size man. All aboard, regular size man.
All aboard.
That's it.
Anyway,
I'm not even kidding about that. I'm
gonna move on. I'm gonna pretend like you didn't say anything. But okay, moving on. There was a photo that was released, very popular photo, talking about the 2021 sequels. Now, obviously, due to all the delays that we've had this year, a lot of iconic movies are coming out next year, and this photo released with Fast and Furious 9, Matrix 4, Jurassic World Dominion, Venom 2, Space Jam 2, Spider-Man 3, Fantastic Beasts 3, Mission Impossible 7, Avatar 2, and Sherlock Holmes 3. All are going to be releasing next year.
Sorry. Ignore me.
Plus more, but these ones were pretty...
these 10 movies next year. We don't get any other movies in the whole cinema next year.
We're getting Multiverse of Madness. We're getting Love and Thunder.
Next year? Shit.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
We're getting 4 Marvel movies next year.
Man.
On the assumption that Eternals and
Black
Widow comes out this year. So anyway, out of these 10 movies, what 3 do you want to see the most and why?
Well, for me, it's not as hard as for a lot of people. I think, to be honest with you, I think I'm definitely going to go Venom 2 because I think the first one had a lot of promise, and it's not a great film. But it's by no stretch a horrible film.
Again, victim to companies
editing,
removing half the movie to get their way.
To get a PG rating. But for me, unlike a lot of people, I like Woody Harrelson as Carnage, and I really want to see Carnage. And I don't hate the name Venom 2 Let There Be Carnage. What's wrong with that?
People getting upset about that? It copped
a lot of flack. It copped a lot of flack. Apparently people genuinely. Apparently people didn't like that title, and I was like, "What's wrong with that title?"
I think it's alright.
I would have gone with it. They did go with it. Space Jam 2. Love me some Space Jam, man. Don't think it'll be as good as the first one, but I have a really soft spot for the Looney Tunes as well. So I really do love Looney Tunes. So Space Jam 2, I'm very, very hyped for. I'm interested to see how they do that. And then I'm probably gonna go Spider-Man 3 just because
it's Spider-Man.
Yeah, and where do you go from there, man? I want to see what they do with the whole Sony thing.
Yeah, that's interesting. We're not have to get into.
No, I don't want to get into that. It's my god, that'll fry my brain. But I think for me, probably a close 4. For me, probably Sherlock Holmes 3. Haven't watched Matrix, so that isn't anything for me. Fast and Furious, I've watched one of them. Number 8 didn't like it. But
you watched the worst one. You literally watched the worst one.
I am gonna make a point to watch them because they start off good. I'm gonna want to scrape my eyeballs out with a rake afterwards once I get to the end, but I'm gonna watch it. Matrix haven't watched them. Really should. Jurassic World didn't finish the second one. Yeah, really? I was really bored halfway through. Fantastic Beasts, good first two movies, just not overly excited for it. Mission Impossible, haven't watched them. Heard all of them are really good except for number 2, I think it is. Need to watch them. Avatar.
Fuck the blue people.
First one was an ordeal. So not overly keen for the second one. Not gonna lie to you.
Blue people, man. I hate the blue people.
I'm not.
Avatar. Nah.
Where are you standing on that? Actually, Avatar. You watched the first one, no?
I watched the first one when I was young.
That was the first M movie I ever watched. I remember it very clearly. I remember everybody in my grade had already watched it. I think I was in grade 4. Everybody, I'm sorry, I'm completely hijacking this podcast for the last 5 minutes. It's all me. It's all me. This is what you're gonna get now. Everybody had already watched it. I begged my parents to let me watch it because I was the only one who hadn't. I hadn't seen an M movie before that, and I finally got allowed to watch it in 3D with my dad. Don't remember having an opinion on it. Just was like, this is cool.
Yeah.
And then I went home.
Look, I gotta rewatch it again. I watched it when I was 10, and I thought it was shit because I was 10 and it was a 3-hour movie. So I do need to rewatch it so I can understand if it actually was a good movie. But I'm scared to watch it because I've been very critical of it in the past, and like, you know, I don't want to like it. But like,
I don't think it's terrible. Also, it's not terrible.
No. But like, also, there's been like nothing. Like, you've never seen anything on social media. You've never seen Avatar be memed, or you've never seen a post about it. Like, it's a really weird movie because it's like, yeah, this movie made like was the longest highest grossing movie for so long, but like, it had no cultural impact at all.
I would disagree with that. For me, it was the new generation of everything. It was what kicked off the. It kicked off 3D. It made movies like that were set on different planets achievable and at a high standard, I think.
Okay.
That's what I think personally.
Okay, in terms of movies, yeah, I would say that. But like, outside of the movie sphere, didn't do much.
No, not really in terms of socially or in the media. Yeah, I probably agree with you.
But I'm saying, like, you know, you'd expect a movie that made that much money to have some form of impact. Yeah, exactly.
I see Star Wars memes and Marvel memes. That might be because I'm in groups on Facebook that do that.
And the Office memes. I knew it. But you know, we'll watch it again. Let's watch it again.
You know what we actually need to do now that we're back? We need to actually watch these movies we say, because I could go back and listen to episodes before, and we've definitely been like, we need to watch this movie that's already come out and it's on streaming service and very easily available to us. And what do? We go out and drink coffee at 9 p.m. in the night.
What do you think we're doing after this?
Drink coffee. I'm really hungry. I didn't want to eat, but I'm gonna eat now.
Yeah, we should eat. Anyway, for me, Fast and Furious 9. No, I'm kidding. They've insulted. No, I'm kidding. They've insulted the Fast and Furious name.
I know. I thought you were serious.
No, I can't. I loved the first Fast and Furious is one of my favorite movies of all time, just because it holds a special place in my heart. Because it was like my first movie that I ever watched. That and Back to the Future, the two movies that I watched in my youth.
Back to the Future. But I'm on that train.
But
all aboard. Oh, you got to add that animation in post. Just me going choo choo.
I'm not. I'm really not. Anyway,
snippet that audio.
Anyway, look, all of these movies I'm very excited for. I would say number one, Spider-Man. Spider-Man is my favorite.
Number one for you. Really?
Yeah. Spider-Man's my second favorite Marvel character besides Thor.
Yeah, fair.
So I love Tom Holland as Peter Parker. I think he's the best Spider-Man. Half popular opinion.
I do really relate to him actually. Oh, sorry. I feel like to Spider-Man.
I feel like he's the best Peter Parker out of all three.
Oh, easily the best Peter Parker.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, they make Tobey Maguire's arguably a better Spider-Man, but he's not a better Peter Parker.
I think it's hard to argue for as a Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's kind of Spider-Man is kind of. You might be able to argue this with everyone, but Spider-Man's kind of because he's masked.
Yeah.
It's kind of down to how he's directed. In
true.
A sense.
This is true. But do you think Tom Holland is too much of a pretty boy to be Peter Parker? Because Peter Parker is child genius.
No, because I don't. He's good looking. He's a good looking lad. Not quite as good looking as myself. But he's a
young DiCaprio. You call yourself?
I don't.
But Tom Holland is also. He's not. You know why I love him? Because like in real life how he just does silly things. He's an idiot.
He is an
idiot. Where he ran. If you guys did not see this, he ran a Marvel pub quiz, and people were spamming the answers in chat, and he was getting mad at them but he didn't realize that he was showing the answers on the back of the card on the camera. It's the funniest fucking thing.
He doesn't even make this up. He actually just does this out of pure idiocracy.
I love that man so much.
He's a funny man.
Anyway. He's just a good guy.
Back to my point. He's a good-looking lad. He's a good-looking lad. As I said, once again, not as good-looking as me. All aboard, choo-choo. But because I don't think he's like ridiculously good-looking in the sense it's like it's distracting.
Come on. Yeah. Okay.
And you're like, that kid's Peter Parker. That's a nerd. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They say that about us too.
And what do I say?
Are you sure?
Get in line. Choo choo.
All of us like
to kill me, man. I'm one episode back, and
I'm moving on.
One episode
I'm
back,
moving
and
on.
that's how I'm talking.
I know.
Right, what's your number 2?
Mission Impossible 7. I watched the last one.
Some said it's the best.
It was amazing, dude. It was one of the better movies of 2018. I think when it came out. Again, we're gonna fact check this right now.
As you can see,
the last
one. Now.
The last one was really, really good, and even then,
2018.
2018, yeah.
Fallout, right?
Fallout. And I have it on Blu-ray, so that's how you know I liked it. But Tom Cruise does all his own stunts. He's awesome.
Made a lot of money, man.
Dude, it does well. It was a really good movie. I really enjoyed it overall, and I'm keen for a new one because they're always really solid.
Yeah.
And then I'd probably say Venom 2 as well for the same reasons as you. Matrix I'm looking forward to. Space Jam 2 will be good, but I never had that attachment to Space Jam in my youth because I was never really into basketball until later.
Yeah.
So I don't think I made that connection to it. I've seen it once, to be honest with you.
I've seen it quite a few times.
You've seen it multiple times. So, and Sherlock Holmes I haven't seen. And Avatar 2, I need to watch Avatar again.
Sherlock Holmes is very good. I will definitely say that. I think Robert Downey Jr., that's his other born-to-play role. He does play it very, very well. So for that reason, it's a good movie.
Yeah, fair enough. But yeah, that's where I sit for the rest for this for 2021.
Yeah, it's an interesting list, I think. I am really looking forward to movies. I just want the cinemas back.
I just want to go back to the cinemas, man. That's all I miss.
I want. Do you see the connection that we're bringing from the start of the episode to the end of the episode? Movies opening up. That's called symmetry. That's what we're bringing to you in 2020.
Are you hungry? Do you lose the point?
I'm trying to be entertaining. Sam, don't call me out. Alright? I'm trying to be entertaining. Apparently it's not working as well as I hoped.
I never said it wasn't working. So we're going to end the podcast right here, I think, on this note. I think it's probably a good idea. But we just want to say we're back. The train has arrived.
We're back.
We're ready to depart on the road to meeting Chris Hemsworth.
We're gonna make
that's our
goal.
I want to our goal on the podcast. I don't know about you. I'm speaking for myself here. Is to interview a celebrity.
I'm down for that. What categorizes a celebrity?
I want to interview Chris Hemsworth. He's Australian. I'll fly up to Byron. I'll bring the microphone with me.
Is Byron in New South Wales? Yeah. So when we go and see the Deontay Wilder fight, we can go see.
Yeah, but Tyson Fury on the Wilder, they're going to happen in Sydney. I'm sure Chris Hemsworth will fly down.
He'll be filming
we'll make a thing happen.
Love and Thunder.
Exactly, we'll make something happen whilst we're there. Chris Hemsworth, we're coming for you, mate.
We'll meet you there.
Not to just bruise my own ego, but some dude called me, said I look like Chris Hemsworth the other day. There's absolutely, I'm going to put this on the record, there is absolutely zero form of correlation between me and him. No, I'm not cutting it. I'm putting it in because I haven't stopped smiling since.
Look, I would take it too. It's the same thing with me and DiCaprio. I look nothing like DiCaprio.
Who said you look like DiCaprio?
A lady said I look like DiCaprio when I was working one time. I don't think I... Hold on. Okay, I don't think... Chris Hemsworth and you, not at all. Not at all.
No, I agree. I agree.
I don't think I look like DiCaprio, but I don't think that I don't. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not completely dissimilar from him. Plus, my hair was different then.
You have long hair?
I had like same length as him, and I pushed it back. I don't look dissimilar to DiCaprio, is what I'm saying. Please come at me in the comments.
This is the end of the episode. I just want to say I apologize for everything we've said in this podcast.
I can say this on a podcast, but not on the YouTube version.
you never come out in public and say this.
God,
on the podcast.
No exactly. Way, but I can say it in here. I can say it.
Fuck. All right. Well, anyway, that is the end of episode 39. We hope you guys definitely enjoyed. Be sure to check us out on our socials. We are back, baby. Let's go. Anyway, have a good week. Much love, and we will see you guys next time.